Kia ora koutou katoa. Hello, this is Lesley Ormsby, psychic medium, teacher, healer of spiritual and mystical things and so much more. So part of the so much more is that I do these monthly and weekly forecasts or readings for everybody, all the astrological signs. And now I am up to Scorpio. Okay, so welcome to my YouTube channel, Scorpio, and on my Facebook page. And if you haven't, I just want to say thank you actually to everybody who has subscribed to my YouTube channel and or liked, gone on to my Facebook page as well and liked and followed me there as well. So if these readings do resonate, please give me a thumbs up or leave a comment, as well as subscribing. That just helps my YouTube channel grow and helps me to be able to get up the messages out there to other people as well who possibly want to hear and or need to hear these messages to help them through whatever they're going through too in their lives. So now let me see. Now these, like I say, are for these messages that are coming through, forecasts that are coming through. It's for Scorpio. So so that's suitable for if you're a Scorpio and you're watching Scorpio and Sun, Moon, or Rising, and Venus as well. Sometimes the messages can be doing with a love sign as well. So welcome to this reading, to this time actually. And I kind of feel like this is interesting. Okay, so I just want to, while I'm shuffling the cards, and I'm asking when I connect in with each sign, I'm asking to connect with obviously the with you guys, you girls, Scorpio, and for messages and guidance to help you through. Like for this is a weekly one for this through this week. I just want to mention too that even though it's they're weekly, and I've created this on Tuesday, so getting it ready for Wednesday, which is tomorrow, for you lovely people. They are timeless, so it may resonate with you right now. And it could actually resonate with you like further on, and you may be watching this video now in a year later from the date that I've made this recorded this. So that's what I mean by timeless. It could be like next month that if this might mean more to you than right now. So don't throw it totally out of the basket, even though these are weekly, because some of you it will be going on like right now, and some of you it might not actually make sense to you until the end of the week. Okay. Or during the week. So anyway, this Queen of Cups has turned up. Okay, well, I don't know, it's interesting. I say turned up, has come out, I normally say, but turned up. Okay, so there may be something like, I'm feeling like this is more you. At the moment, it's more you than it's like turned up, and it's like, turned up. It's really interesting. So it may be that somebody actually has turned up and it's bringing out something in you, okay? Because the Queen of Cups is sitting on her throne. And it may be where that's, for some of you, that's where you're wanting to be or go, okay? In your life, and be at that place in life where you're more in control and in oneness of your feelings, your thoughts, and things like that, but more feelings and your emotional side of you. But I feel a lot of you, and that is the main theme for this week. Okay, that's come up at the moment. So and it's in the description or the interesting, the theme with the Queen of Cups is the beloved, okay, or the beloved, however you pronounce it. But it's like she's more in love with herself is what I'm feeling, but more loving as well. When we're more loving of ourselves, it's like there's a more, it naturally become more loving of everything else and everyone else in our lives that, in relationships, regardless whether they're people that, we don't get on with so much, or the people that, we've cut out of our lives. There's this feeling, I'm feeling that it's more in love with life. Okay, no matter, that's just them. That's just the way they are, that sort of feeling. And that's just who they are. That's none of my business, you know. There's that feeling. You know, it's none of my business what they're doing, and it's none of their business of what I'm doing, basically. So you're just getting on with your life. And I feel like a lot of you have finally figured that out, and it could be with someone that, it could be with someone or someone's, whatever it is, that how this story is, you know, rolls for you. It's an interpret it in your own way, okay, with what is going on with your story in your life, basically. So, but I'm also hearing that there may be someone that comes in your life that that has those, that is in that space, and maybe that you're something they're teaching you or learning, or it's just a note for that you're wanting to be, or you could do with something about this person, that the space that they're in. So you may be watching this person and noticing things about them and their story and their life, and it's like, how can I, you know, be more in that space? So and I feel like a lot of you are working in that place, and have worked in that place. So and so you could be that person that's showing somebody else and sharing with somebody else about how you've done it, you know, that your journey and what you've enjoyed to get to where you were, and, you know, the steps or the processes that you've taken, and you may be sharing that with somebody, or you could be that person that's in there. So it's either, you know, like I say, related to how the story works within your life, okay? So, but we'll see, and when we're more in touch with that side of ourselves, Scorpio, as you will have known in the past, you know, and this is where you maybe at this place that you're figuring that out, you know, your energy may be lifting and change, because we have two like wands, straight one after the other. We have the Five of Wands first that's come out in the struggle and, you know, and frustration. So you may be like in that right now. Or you may have just got through there and moving forward into it, but there's some energy that's moving that's just pushing you, I feel, to shifting that energy that you're in this week, to moving towards this Queen of Cups energy. So for a lot of you. And there may be a little bit of a struggle and frustration to get there, because it's like sometimes we've got to work through things, and, like, you know, and sometimes we've actually got to push ourselves to challenge ourselves to look at stuff. So like talking about like feeling into something, and, you know, and discerning whether, okay, what is this about? What is this about? And why have I allowed myself to go into that space or be affected by that? Because remember, they're talking about emotions here with the cups and feelings, basically, because that's what the cups is about. It's also about, you know, our intuition and creativity. So we, you know, when we're creative, a lot of our emotions come out with that. So it's like whether we're going to the gym, you know, or we're doing a workout or a meditation, or we're doing art. You know, it's a way of releasing our feelings and our emotions out on that canvas, or out in that gym, or doing that meditation, or going for that bushwalk, or, you know, or working on the car. You know, there's an outlet sometimes, you know, okay, whether it's where they go, is looking for or finding or utilizing the outlet where we can express our emotions and get them out so we can work with it. So that's where I feel like they're more going with that struggle and that frustration, is to utilize or find something to use that energy to bring it out, to sort it out, so you can get to this side here. So it's about taking action, basically, and finding something where to do it. Some of you, it's on the other side there, like I feel like it's like and within that, it may be like you're having, some of you maybe finding it a little bit, you know, frustrating and struggling to move through this, some sort of process in how things are, why, you know, things are like that, and moving forward into how it could be, and, you know, into the future, basically. And that could be to do with, you know, across the board with, you know, yourself. Obviously, it's going to be with yourself. And where they go, with work, career, stuff around the home. It could be some relationships, whether it could be the relationship, could be your boss, your friend. It could be, you know, some family members, you know, whether it be, you know, immediate family or extended family, whatever it is for you. But it's like you'll get through this. So it's like looking at the emotional side of it. What is yours and what is not. And sometimes we have to like disconnect from the emotion in order to take ourselves out of the emotion and look at it from a physical and a logical point of view, and why we are, you know, why that or where that emotion comes from and how it, so we can heal it. Okay. So the other thing is like the Seven of Wands. So there's some sort of, with that struggle and frustration on the Five of Wands, there's some sort of movement, and where you may be feeling like there is a like, because the theme around the Seven of Wands is stiff competition. So you may be feeling like a little bit tricky, and you might come across something or some things or someone where not so much a stiff competition, but it may be something that maybe you may be feeling like it's blocking your way. But what I'm hearing is from Spirit is just like looking behind that and to find the solution, or looking into it to find the solution, looking in to find the solution. It's like, because I just kind of like just getting that feeling that maybe you've missed something in there, missed something, looking a bit deeper. With that, and so now the Ace of Wands has fallen out, and it's come down, it's, you know, in reverse, it's upside down, it's fallen out in that way. So and it's made because there's something about you speaking up or speaking out as well, but I don't feel like it's I feel like you've actually got to the to a point there, because that's what some of this stiff competition and this frustration and this with the 5 and the 7 here of Wands is about. It's you may be finding it a little bit difficult to physically express yourself and get out what you're wanting to say as well. But I'm hearing like it's about, you know, walking, it's talking your talk, but also walking the walk. But it's kind of like now you've spoken it, you've got to walk it as well. Wow. So, and then we have that, yeah, like I say, this Ace of Swords. So something happens, you know, where there's out of the blue or something, or a gift comes, because there's the hand, you know, there's a hand that's coming out of a out of the clouds there, and that's the Ace of Swords. Interesting. And the Ace of Swords is about, you know, the theme around that is the old order changes. So an old order or something old changes in the way that you think or be or do something, but it's definitely to do with, you know, the way you're thinking, because it being the swords. So you know, and the swords is typically about thoughts and words and actions, so which is that throat sort of a thing coming out there, and actions and taking action, but with life challenges. But it's really about communicating your ideas and making decisions and asserting your power, basically, are the main themes around the swords. So there's something, and maybe a new idea or a thought comes in, and like I was talking about before, and how you can see or work through this situation. Okay. Woohoo, something's moving. Awesome. And so you can suss it out, so you get to this place here, because I definitely, yeah, definitely feel there's movement. And you know what, there's a new moon that's coming in, so right now would be a really good time to investigate. Okay, investigate into what it is, you know, that's holding you off, or, you know, putting you back, pulling you back. And, you know, obviously it's ourselves to a degree, because we're like, you're not saying something in order for you to get to a point where you can just do it, basically, with whatever. For some of you, there's a few things. It's going to open up doors once you figure that out, basically. And some of you may be already there now, at that aha moment, or coming into it. Awesome. But I do feel, because they show me like something's falling away, basically. And it's like old ideas and thoughts and feelings about how to do something. And there's, you know, I feel like some of you are maybe being a little bit stubborn, Scorpio, and not, you know, and not giving in to something or someone, more like something I'm feeling. Okay, because now we have 3 cards that have come out. So the 4 of Swords, the 3 of Swords, and the Queen of Swords. So this is all air stuff that's going on. So the 4 of Swords is typically about recuperation and convalescence. So there's something that you're moving through, and then the 3 of Swords is about tension released, and then you've got the Queen of Swords. It's about, you know, releasing tension. All right, so, and then Queen of Swords is about well, the theme is, you know, suffering with dignity and resignation, basically. So all these cards there are all to do with air, but you're working through it. So you've got the Queen of Swords, which is the sword on the top, but that's the last card that's come out. So she's on top. So somewhere along the line, you find you're stepping into your power, and you're knowing, because you're releasing stuff that isn't, you know, doesn't serve you any purpose for your highest good. Yay! Whoa! Sounds like it's going to be an awesome week. And you will probably feel a little bit like that, you know, it's like, and a little bit, you know, cranky maybe, and at yourself and maybe at a few others. But overall, I don't feel like you'll lash out at anybody. Some of you may do, but I would suggest not to, because you're only going to hurt yourself even more, and bring it back to yourself. But it's like, as well as others, so bring it back to yourself. But however, this Queen of Swords is telling you that you get on top of it. You're on top of it. She's sitting there, and you're feeling you know, this is about you, you know, taking responsibility for your own actions, basically, to get to this point. So sometimes, like the 3 of Swords suggests, we need to sit, we need to recuperate, we need to sit and take some time out. You know, and I mean, sorry, the 4 of Swords. And when we've released some tension, so these, you know, and the 4 of Swords is about, you know, recuperating. So we need to take some time out to, you know, understand what is going on to get to the Queen, because without doing all that groundwork, we won't, you know, we're never going to get there to the place where we really want to get to, because we haven't gone through the process. We haven't figured it out, which the process about helps us figure it out. So we understand it, okay? And we don't want to go back there again. And then something else, you know, on saying that, something else will come up and will remind us about where we've been to where we've come. Yeah, from where we've come from to where we are. And it's, yeah, anyway. I think you get the gist now. I just felt like, whoa, that's like really, so it's a really amazing, powerful energy this week to help you shift through something. It's just amazing. And anyway, we have the Ace of Cups. See, look, it's come out. So there's a new beginnings emotionally. So the cup runneth over, and that's like moving into, you know, a new and you'll feel it. You'll feel that shift, because it's like, I get it now. And you'll feel a lot more lighter, and, you know, you're just like, there's aha moments like that. So there's a new beginning emotionally, and there's a shift there in that. So beautiful. And then the last 2 cards that have fallen out, yeah, it's just amazing how Spirit works, is the 3 of Pentacles and the Page of Wands. So the 3 of Pentacles. So even through all of that, there's something else going on, and that you've been able to create, get on with life, even though of like the physical side of work, and like with working in your career or your business as well, is because it's all part and parcel of it. There's an initial completion of work, okay? So they're talking about not only about this new, what you're going through with all these swords energy and the cups, but there's, you know, and that's why they're saying, you know, in the background, there are things going on. And you may end up going, so some of you, I feel like it may be that you are looking back into you and helping somebody through this process, and maybe reliving it for some of you, but in a different way. So okay, for some of you it may be that when I say reliving it, I feel like I need to explain that. It's not so much exactly the same, but something has come up to that is similar. But although some of you it may have has triggered it for you to relive it, to finally heal it, basically. Okay, so there's 2 or 3 things going on, but it's like there's a lot of action in there, and things are moving. So with this Ace of Cups, I feel like you'll probably you'll get that, and it's like yay, and be able to move forward. And in there, it's like there's the 3 of Pentacles is like showing you that you've actually, what you've been doing in the whether it is for career, around home, relationships, or whatever that is that's come up for you, that there is, it will show you something will show you that actually, through all that, what you've accomplished, and through how you're feeling and being and doing. It's like there's some sort of, the word I'm hearing is reward or gift as well, which comes from here. They'll show you that, which is awesome. You'll get that. And then we have the Page of Wands, and that is in reverse as well. So it's like, it's with energy wise. So there's Page of, I'm turning it up the correct way. So, the Page of Wands is a younger male energy. It could be a fire sign that's coming through. I don't normally go there with these, but this is right. I'm feeling like I can explain that a bit more, or they're wanting to bring that out, give you a little bit more information. So there could be a younger male fire sign energy that's coming towards you, or is around you, Scorpio. So just with some, who is a messenger, because the theme around the Page of Wands with pages, with this one anyway, is a messenger bringing creative ideas. So, and which will extend onto this. It's like you start to become more open and trusting to, and with some ideas or thoughts that somebody brings you as well. Whereas you may have been a little bit blocked, or a little bit not, wanting to work through all this other stuff first before you get to this part, which is fair enough. But it's been there in the background. So it's like now these other ideas and these clues come up, but it's like, just listen to it. It may not happen like overnight, but it will happen. Like whatever the message that they're bringing you, because you may not see it as like, well, how the hell am I going to do that right now? Okay, so it's just like to yourself, not to them, but it's just like, and you may like hold off on it, and just want to throw it right out, but don't. It's like I just feel, because they've given me that feeling that it may be, it's something to like just put aside for right now and implement it a little bit later, but have that idea and that thought that, hey, this is actually, because it's really something for the future, but not right now. Okay. Whew, there is a lot going on in 1 week, man. So, but I feel like, and that's, it's just like the energy is moving, because there's a lot of energy in there, a lot of energy. Like the fire energy and the sword energy. So there's a lot to process. Awesome. Yay! Sounds good. Feels good. Movement is always good. Anyway, I'm going to leave that with you, Scorpio, for this week. And I shall see you next week. So Wednesdays is going to be typically going to be your day for when I'm going to put the messages out. So check Wednesdays during the week for you, but for the weeklies, but also in the last week of every month is the week that I'll be doing the monthlies. So there won't be a weekly one there, of course, because that's going to be the monthly one to take you forward into the following month. And we will do the weekly ones to just to clarify things a little bit more, and we'll see what comes up to add to that. Anyway, God bless you all. Have an amazing week, and I will see you next Wednesday. Bye for now.